Welcome back to the Supremely Black Podcast. This is your boy D Rose. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the Grove Hero and Blac Youngsta situation, and pretty much how we got to this particular point. If anybody that knows Grove Hero, he's a comedian that has did 3 or 4 or 5, probably lost count of the world tours that he's did. And so what he takes is a car washing. He has a funnel cake truck. He has a food truck, so he takes them to city, does like anywhere from a 25 to 30 city tour, and all of his money and proceeds goes back pretty much into his business, and he gives his homeboy a third of the bread, right? So that's how Grove Hero is known. Everybody knows Blac Youngsta from all the antics. He be hype as hell on the songs. You got to give it to him. But here lately, it's been a back and forth between him. So Grove Hero, which is the comedian, represents PRE, Paper Route Empire. Blac Youngsta, which is Heavy Camp, which is affiliated with CMG. So they've been going back and forth the last couple of days. Grove Hero rolled down what was allegedly Blac Youngsta's grandmama house, which is an old one. If you have been keeping up with Blac Youngsta, he's even talked about it in interviews. He built his grandmama's house from the ground up. So she bought a new house. He bought her a new house and built it, right? So they're going back and forth is because, one, Blac Youngsta had performed his diss song to Young Dolph, Shake Something, which is typical for anybody that follows an artist. Like, typically, what we do is we would get behind the diss song that get everybody hyped, get everybody turned. You damn near pick a side. I'm not here for that. I'm just really just to provide clarity in the situation, hopefully it can come down to a resolution, right? So he performed the song in Dallas. That got a lot of people hyped. Got a lot of people got the shit started. He got the blogs picking sides. He shouldn't have did it. He shouldn't have. Just to speak on that, honestly, Blac Youngsta did what he was supposed to do. I'm not saying that I necessarily agree. I don't believe in dissing the dead, just to kind of put my thoughts on that. But if you have a hit song that is hot in that area, every artist that does a concert is going to pick the hottest songs that does well in that market. That's just business. Controversy sells. If you don't like it, quit listening to it. And so then it's not turned into pretty much a blood sport, right? So then he drops the following day, I'm assuming is it's talking about the typical shit Blac Youngsta talk about. He hype, he turned up, talking about his life that he's been through, and then the part that has everybody's attention is that he is performing in a graveyard beside a tombstone that has Thornton. So unless you've been under a rock, everybody knows that Young Dolph's real name is Adolph Thornton Jr. So that's more or less that's not a coincidence. Again, if you're going to be in the drill music, you're going to be in gangster music, there is not any fair in the streets. There's not even really any love in the streets. So if anybody thinks that Youngsta's going to change his approach just because of Young Dolph's demise, then you're really fooling yourself, right? Let's just be real in regards to that. But back to the Grove Hero situation. So Grove is from the north side of town, and Blac Youngsta's from the south side of town, right? And this Memphis ain't that big, but everybody knows how it is. So Grove is from the Grove. He has bought a lot of houses in this area. He does it with his giveaways from when he comes back from the tour with his food trucks and his car wash and his funnel cake truck. And now he got the barber thing as well. But now we've ran into an opportunity to where people are saying that Grove shouldn't have said something because he's a comedian. But he's going to defend Paper Route Empire because he wouldn't, as he stated several times, that he wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for Young Dolph, right? But a lot of people want to make it as if that them two are going back and forth, but I would strongly disagree with that, and here's the reason why. Blac Youngsta has chosen his side. That's what he's going to rep. That's what he's going to stand on. Being in the streets, there is no other way you think he's going to look at that. Grove is from the streets as well, but he's taking a different route. Every city he's in, it hasn't been any reported issues, not a fight, not any shootouts or anything at any of the events he's had, but he put the guns down and make sure the kids are finding a different route, teach you how to hustle, go mow some yards, go rake some yards. So for people to kind of grab the information, and so just to be clear, Grove Heroes did this with other people. He's even took a shots at his own Paper Route Empire homies. Like, he's even said that, hey, bruh, y'all promoting gun violence, drug use. disrespected women, etc., y'all bullshitting. Like, he's even told Dolph that, but at the same time, like he said, if somebody that shot at you and there's been blood drawn, there's really no coming back from that. And you have to understand that if you're going to say that you live by the street code. But I'm not necessarily saying, the reason why I don't agree is because Grove Hero is not saying he's living by the street code. He's actually one of the ones that is using his platform to push positivity in a real way. And he's not just talking about it. He's going back to his neighborhood and other people's cities and giving back. He's giving away cars. He's giving away houses rent free. He's been doing this for years at this particular point. So he has a legit point to where if he's speaking out against what he's not for, even if it means taking a shot at his own people, then that's just being real. But what I don't agree with is how people are trying to make it seem as if that, that it's CMG or Heavy Count versus PRE. All that came allegedly. There still hasn't been anybody arrested for Young Dolph's murder. So for people to even start doing that, of course, this is what's going to happen. So now it has blown up to a point where he's dropping a video, he's dropping a live, he's doing this, he's doing that. So my whole question is where is the solution? So my thing is, I think the solution should be this. Is that, okay, Memphis, now it's your time. We've seen Chicago, we've seen LA, we've seen Jacksonville, we've seen Bama. We've seen how it could turn out to where it could lead to where the top dog gets killed or goes to jail for a long time. The rap scene dies off. You think about like how it was in Fort Worth. Without beef, there's not any way to prosper, because at the end of the day, like I've always said, beef is just bad for business. If there's to a point where nobody can even make money, you're not going to get those record deals. Unless you just want to be an entertaining market and only could do shows at certain venues, which is not going to be bringing in, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 a show like some of the other people are able to get, because they don't come with the bullshit that comes behind beefing, which I understand we're not always going to get along. But how I look at it is this: since you have two completely different individuals, yes, they're from Memphis. You got Blac Youngsta that stand on what he's saying he's gonna stand on. That's how he's gonna make his money. He does it for entertainment, but he's also giving back to his community, regardless of how other people may not agree with him or say he can't come back to his hood. That's neither here nor there. That's not what I'm even here for. But then you got the comedian Grove Hero that has a good, righteous way of impacting the communities, giving back to the youth, and also leading by example of a positive image that happens to be caught up in hip hop. Honestly, we need more Grove Heroes. We need more rappers to contribute to their communities like Grove Hero. But what he's saying is he has the right to count or call out anybody because this is not his message, which he's right. Because at the end of the day, you can't choose both sides, and he's chosen what side he wants to be on. But I don't be understanding how people will get to a point where you would have a street rapper beefing with a comedian that has a positive approach, and you have a street rapper that that's what he's living, that's what he's talking about, that's what he's standing on. You feel me? Like, Memphis, this is your chance to whoever the big dogs in the city that can actually get them two together to where they don't have any differences and just look past the most important part. Because now with the spotlight shined on Memphis, it can only turn one or two ways. It's either going to go right and go positive and say, like he said, he's not saying that Yo Gotti gotta apologize for anything, but if he's the most prominent figure within the city, then he should step out, or he should step up and say that put the guns down and let's stop the violent movement, right? So I think that that's a fair challenge for him to actually say that and hold another brother accountable that's within his city, because he realizes that we've seen this movie 1,000 times. So either you want the movie to continue and have a different ending, or you want to just keep watching the same cycle over and over and over and over, just keep repeating itself. So I'm rocking with him. It's not about who was right or wrong. I mean, he did what he had to do. Of course, he feels a certain way. The person that put him in position is no longer here. Of course, if Youngsta wants to put out music, he's always put out music that was deemed as disrespectful. Who's to say that he was talking about Dolph? The only thing that you would really be able to rely on is that he was in the graveyard and he had through it, and he's going to continue to do that, right? But the resolution must be that at some point that these brothers, we're going to have to find some kind of way to sit down at the table and just squash the beef. I'm not saying y'all have to be best friends and get along, but at the same time, if a brother has a message that has been able to go and tour from the East Coast to the West Coast, down south and up north, you got to respect it. There's no need for us to continue to try to, oh, well, this happened, he shouldn't have did this, and that's standing on the street. Okay, we cool, we get out, we understand the politics of it, but what's the resolution? Because what it sounds like is a lot of people want this to continue to happen to them. Now, Grove Hero gets killed, Blac Youngsta gets killed. Where do we go from here? The cycle keeps going. Then we're just naming out more people that are coming from it. So Memphis, this is the challenge, man. This is the opportunity for you all to use your big dogs, the real OGs within the city, to get some structure back in and to not let Memphis turn out to be like the rest of the cities, even though this shit has been going on for a long time. But I think this is a prime opportunity to actually let the light shine on Memphis to where they can have the blow like they have in Atlanta, to where it's not a lot of street beef. And we know they all got their mishaps, but it's not something that you can actually see. You feel me? So this is your boy D Rose. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you share this with the real ones, man. This your boy D Rose, and I'm out. Long live CC.